I've been so blessed as a graduate of NC State to have so much opportunity, no question. I had a great career as a naval aviator, a great career as a senior executive Harley-Davidson Motor Company. Before I came here as Chancellor Woodson's very first hire, I gave up a great career there to come back to NC State. A calling trumps a career. I wouldn't trade this for anything. To be able to be a part of a great Wolfpack team here with incredible faculty, staff, and amazing students. In fact, I'm so glad I didn't have to compete with them because I wouldn't make the cut, I'm sure. But to come back and be a part of this university and see it perform so very, very well and make profound impacts and differences for students, and also the research that's done here every single day, for me to be part of that, we think can do the extraordinary every single day. NC State helps fulfill dreams. And as a young boy growing up in rural Columbus County on a dirt road with an outhouse, I had big dreams. When I wanted to graduate and be a naval aviator, I'd never been in an airplane. Are you kidding? But NC State helped me as it helps thousands of other students, and will continue to do that, to think big, as Chancellor Caldwell would say, and dream bigger. So as I think about reflecting on 12 plus years, it's been the opportunity to be a part of a very special experience, and along with the staff, our board for sure, to be able to contribute to that success and influence so many young lives has been truly a privilege. So as I look back on those 12 years, I remember just how fortunate I am to be a part of this overall Wolfpack experience. Well, first of all, coming to NC State as a country kid from Columbus County was an experience that I'll always treasure. My mom bought me a three-piece suit at Belk's in Wilmington. I was the first kid in my family to graduate from high school, to get accepted to come to a college, and she thought I should be properly attired. So I wore a three-piece suit to NC State, and I arrived here on a Sunday afternoon in Reynolds Coliseum with 12,000 other people. But the process worked. I wasn't too keen on taking calculus at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, but that's the way it worked out. And I actually got through all that, which is great. So it showed that with a lot of hard work, a lot of support from faculty and staff and my family, that just about anything's possible. And the worst mistake you could make is never trying. Never trying. At least, he said, this way, when you're 90 years old in a rocking chair somewhere and a jet flies over, you'll never have to ask yourself, I wonder, what would have happened? So the influence of NC State, the chancellor then, the leadership, the faculty, and the staff, I think helped me set my sights fairly high, actually. So what am I most proud of as far as accomplishments during my 12 years? How much time do we have? I could go on forever talking about some of the things that I've been so fortunate to be a part of. But when I think about it, I think the opportunity to be here, have the opportunity to help shape some of these young lives with our Student Alumni Association, with our ambassador program, especially with our Caldwell Fellows program, being able to be part of an incredible campaign that will make a tremendous difference in financial support for our current students and those students that will come that otherwise would not have had the opportunity like I've had. One thing that's probably made me smile the most is have the opportunity to host our Legacy Luncheon. That is the coolest thing that I've had a chance to be a part of since I've been at NC State, without a doubt. My first one was in August of 2010. The staff did a great job, like they always do, in briefing me on what my role could be and what the experience was going to be like. And sure enough, we had it on move-in weekend at Harris Field. The place was packed. well over 1,000 parents and students and grandparents. Some of them with as many as a dozen plus alumni as part of that family. To be a part of that, just that alone was so special, because there was a link that bonded everybody, and that was that tremendous love and respect and gratitude to be part of NC State. I had no idea that when those parents stood up, along with those young men and women, and you would hear a pin drop, that it was going to be that emotional for them and for me. I told them, I said, why didn't you tell me it was going to be that way? Because I was looking for my Ray-Bans, and I didn't have any Ray-Bans with me. And here I am, I'm boo-hooing so bad, I can hardly read the script. That was tears of joy. So your question is a very good one. So as I look back, and what has made me smile the most is Legacy Luncheon, especially when it's in Reynolds Coliseum. I can't wait till August 20th to do it again for one last time, and I will have my Ray-Bans. When people come visit the Park Alumni Center, as Chancellor Woodson calls it, the gateway home for our alumni and our friends, I always make sure that we have a chance to show them the Hood Boardroom at their Park Alumni Center. It's impressive. And I met hundreds, if not a few thousand, alumni and special friends of this university where they live. There was a link that bonded every single one of them with me as well. It was obvious. I mean, really obvious. The pride, the passion, the energy, the incredible respect they have for this university is a link that bonds all of them. It was obvious in Asheville all the way to Nags Head. They all had it. And if there's any doubt about that, go to Carter Finley on any Saturday afternoon for that pregame tailgate. You'll see thousands of experiences and thousands of people who show that passion, that pride all the time. In fact, they're over the top. And guess what? I'm one of them. I'm just as eat up as they are. Go Pack.
I think I've probably carried the spirit of the wolf ever since I could dream about coming to NC State. My granddad is one of the smartest people I've ever known. He's my number one all-time hero. And he's very well read, very, very intelligent. And some of the things that he did had an impact on me, quite a bit actually, but he got all the periodicals, including Sports Illustrated, Time Magazine, and Look. And of course, most of those magazines are no longer around, but the issue I liked the most was the Look All-Americans. And of course in there, names like Dick Christie, Roman Gabriel, and of course the photography was just phenomenal. So as a young person thinking about college at some point, that had quite an influence on me. And as I think I mentioned earlier, I was very fortunate to go to a high school that had a good ag education program and FFA program, and I was part of all that. My two ag teachers are NC State alumni. They were eat up with the spirit of the wolf, and of course that influence had an impact or an influence on me as well. That feeling, that spirit will only intensify. I can assure you, that's what will happen. When I was a naval aviator and I spent 22 years flying attacking fighters, 5 commands, when I would go into situations that I knew were going to be a little demanding, a little challenging, risky, I wouldn't wear a squadron t-shirt. I'd wear an old NC State t-shirt. Because if something happened to me, I wanted to be attired appropriately. Don't you know? Go back. So that spirit has always been there. It always will be part of me forever. It's undeniable. It's part of who I am and always will be.